Hello, YouTube. This is Bub's Comics coming at you with the No Faces Comic Chat. Oh, hey. He has joined. It's funny. We were giving him it's Deadpool 2323 is joining us. We were giving him an extra 5 minutes to get on the chat, and just as we were as all hope was lost.
Hello? Can't hear anybody. Give me a minute.
We've got you. So hello, YouTube. This is a No Faces Comic Chat. DS, what's our name for tonight? Do you remember?
Can't hear anybody.
No, I don't remember what.
All right. Now I can hear you, but only.
Yeah, the Classic Comic Collection Curators.
Nice. Oh,
I
that's
like
beautiful.
It is.
You like that one?
It's a bit presumptuous, but yeah, I like it.
Oh, I don't think it's presumptuous at all.
Well,
I think
the
it's
classy part for sure. The classy part, that's presumptuous and a half.
Well, you haven't seen the finely tuned decor of DS's basement. I can tell you.
I guess I haven't.
Well, like any museum that has collections of great art, right now everything is in my back room, but it is well curated. I can promise you that. But we are waiting to get moving to a new location that is undisclosed and an undetermined time frame. And when we get there, there will be items on display. But right now, it's all a nicely curated collection in a back room.
Nice. I think all of Roger's house is a back room, isn't it, Roger?
Oh no, the wife would not go for that at all. No,
really? You don't spread your collection about the house?
Well, yeah, but it's all ensconced. There's nothing out. Believe me, there's no light has ever hit these books. When I put it, I have I have a spare bedroom. I keep some in there, and there's a little bit by my daughter's bedroom, but the majority's in my office.
Nice. Well, what about you, Deadpool 2323? Do you keep all your stuff out around the house, or do you relegate it to a simple area?
I'm not sure he can hear us yet. I think he was having problems hearing us.
Oh, okay.
Still setting up this one.
That's all right.
I'll tell you, my collection is down to an all-time low.
Well, I kind of have stuff all over the place, but
go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you. Yeah.
Go ahead. So you've got stuff all over the place, or is it all?
Yeah, I got some lag going on here, I think.
Are you listening to us?
I kind of have my stuff mostly all in one area, but a little bit of all over the place.
Okay. Good deal.
It looks like you all have spaces where you have stuff up on the walls, though, and you've got little display areas. So that's cool. I just have I bought a shelving unit from Lowe's and put it together. It's one of those pretty rock solid ones, and I've got everything on that. And I've got a few things displayed on the shelves next to some of the boxes. And I've got some packing supplies next to it, and so I mean it's on display slightly, but you guys all have nicer display areas, and that's one of the things I like about this community. Since I don't have a display area, a lot of people have really awesome areas where they display stuff, even if it's just a small corner. But yeah, it's cool to see how everybody chooses to display some of their books and their items. I really enjoy that.
Hey,
sorry, I don't have anything.
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, we got you.
I had a microphone and it was giving me a big lag with the sound and the talking. I apologize for that.
Oh, you're all right.
That's all right. We'll blame it on Bub. No problem.
Yeah, Roger is having a similar problem.
Yeah, I hear Bub too clearly. That's my problem.
You're always so kind.
So Bub, I'm going to tell you, HME3 just commented in the comments. You already got your thumbs down for this video.
Man, that's a record. That it might have already been up before the video started. That tends to happen too, because you can access the video as I think an hour before it promotes it, and sometimes I have a thumbs down before the video even starts. So that's how good I am.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's a rogue Batman fan who doesn't like Wolverine.
Oh, I like Batman. I got Batman stuff, man. Hey, if you're listening, random thumbs downer, I like Batman. That's it.
Well, if anybody watches your video from earlier today where you showed off that Jim Lee Batman, if it's a Batman troll, that should cure the problem. But it looks like maybe it hasn't, so I'm not sure. Maybe you got a thumbs down on that one too?
Oh, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been consistently getting a single thumbs down on every video for like a month and a half now. Before it's like at one point it bothered me, like when it first started happening, it bothered me, but now it's just like I'm so routinely conditioned to it. I'm like, oh, come on, where's my thumbs down? Yay! You know, I got it.
Yeah, you know what that means, though, right?
Huh?
You know what that means, right?
What?
That means they're watching your videos.
Well,
hey, that's right.
They don't though, because like I might upload a 15-minute video, and it's thumbs down like before you can get through the 5-second intro. It's already got a thumbs down. I'm like, oh, that's not even possible. Sometimes I'll upload a video, and before I have a chance to watch it myself, like just to make sure it uploaded properly, it's already got a thumbs down. So it's I've definitely got a serious flea, but that's okay.
Well, I got one thumbs down on a video a couple months ago. It's the only thumbs down I've ever had, and it was on a video where in the title, I had something about PGX comments, and I said some, not the nicest things about PGX in the video. Basically why I don't use them. It was nothing derogatory really, but that was the only thumbs down I ever got, was my anti-PGX sort of video.
Could have been from We Love Comics.
I got a thumbs down for a video that was a big my big Silver Age score. I don't know if you guys ever watched my big Silver Age score for, about a year ago now.
Yeah.
I got a thumbs down on that video.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to make sense where the thumbs down come from for some of these people. I mean, some of these YouTube channels have, thousands of followers and very strong views on things. I can understand some people are giving thumbs down. But I mean, some of us with smaller numbers of viewers getting thumbs down, I don't understand where it comes from really.
And when you're talking about something that can be done anonymously, they can hide behind it. Then there's no accountability. So you're having a bad day, and I'm giving this a thumbs down.
But there's no effect from it either. So I don't see the benefit to somebody doing. I could see if you wanted to firebomb a building of somebody, of your enemy, and anonymously. But I mean, this doesn't have any negative effect on the channel or viewership or anything. So it doesn't seem to have any benefit or detriment at all. I don't understand it.
Personally, I just don't even look into it. The same video I got my first thumbs down on. I also got a negative comment, my first ever negative comment, and the guy was mad at me because he felt like I ripped the drug addicts off. So I was like, all right, well, they advertised it for sale and I bought it. So I don't know what else I'm supposed to do there. I guess I'm supposed to tell them it's worth $8,000.
Wow.
Silver Age Dave must have 1,000 then, because he went into a crack house and took a bunch of comics out of there.
Right?
He's has some thumbs down.
He drinks beer in his video, so he's liked by everybody.
Yeah, of course, man. He's awesome. He's awesome.
But he's got a lot of thumbs down. I've noticed several of his videos get 2 or 3. I remember one video he just gave a thank you to the community. Thank you, everyone. I love YouTube. I love you all. And then he got like 3 thumbs down. So I was like, how does that happen?
When
I started seeing that, I felt better.
When there's no accountability, people just are sometimes mean spirited, and that's just the long and the short of it. I wouldn't give it any more credence than that.
What kills me is how someone must go out of their way, because it's clear that they must be not only subscribed to me, but also gets the notifications. Like, really? You subscribed and you rang the bell just so you could not watch my videos and thumb me down. That's hilarious. Like, who has that little of a life? It's crazy.
I don't understand. Like, I can barely have time to make a video, let alone watch the ones I'm not going to like.
Right. I'm with you, Deadpool. Exactly.
Like I feel bad because I'm behind on people's videos. There's like 8 people in the community that I religiously try to watch, including 2 out of 3 of you. And no,
thanks. Lisa, no, you're not giving me a thumbs down. You're not even watching the video.
but you know, working full time, 4 kids, you know, time is a precious commodity, and I don't have a lot of it. So I don't often get a chance to watch videos and make videos. And so I couldn't imagine being someone that had so much wasted time in my hands that I would use it to watch videos intentionally to hit the dislike button.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Deadpool, I'm with you. You know, the only reason I even checked if I had any thumbs down, I think, is because Bub mentioned that he thought he caught a flea and was getting one every video. I'm like, I wonder if I have any. So honestly, I never even knew if I did, and I may have more since then. I honestly don't care. I'm with you. It doesn't matter to me. I put out content and talk about books I like, and you know, I don't really care how many views even my videos get. I think some of my better content has hardly any views, and anytime you put a CGC unboxing in the title, you get hundreds of views or more, and you know, people are going to watch or not watch what they want. I just put it out, and you know.
I never knew that about CGC unboxings. I'm going to start labeling all line CGC unboxings, but not unboxings.
I'll tell you, my 2 highest viewed videos both say CGC unboxing in the title, and it's by a long shot. Like, there's several hundred views on those, where I do other ones showing off like $1,000 Golden Age books, or talking about something that's a little substantial about grading or whatever, and I get like 40 views. But I'll put CGC unboxing in the title, hundreds and hundreds of views.
Yeah, you know what else gets a lot of views is if you put like a big comic convention like MegaCon.
Mm-hmm.
MegaCon every year of all my haul videos, it's always my biggest haul views. And then other than the Adam Hughes interview I did, that one took a life of its own.
Yeah, and if you put like comics haul, I noticed anytime I ever did a haul video, it gets like double the views.
Yeah.
I should have tons of views then. I pretty much every day I put up a comic haul.
Yeah.
You know what hurts me, I think, a lot, because I don't do a lot with DC. So I think there's a whole part of the market there. But to be honest, I don't look at this like I'm not competing for views. I'm not competing. I mean, I like having people watch my stuff. That's why we do it. I like having subscribers. Thank you to everyone who subscribes and watches, and I greatly appreciate it. But I don't do it for an ego trip. I do it because I enjoy sharing what the journey that of my collecting takes me, and so I think a lot of us in the community are similar, and you know, it's you know, collecting is a lot more mainstream now than it used to be. So it used to be hard to find other people to share your collecting stories with and your passion and enthusiasm for it. And I think YouTube really branched out and gave that voice to a lot of people.
Hey guys, we have 23 people in the chat. I think that's the most ever.
Wow, awesome. Picking up some following. That's good. I mean, I have to say, I watch a lot of chats through the week. I try and catch most of the live ones that come on lightly, usually on the replay, because I have a lot of stuff going on. They tend to come on a little later than this one. So
that's because you invited me.
Oh, yeah. That was it. You just put Deadpool in any chat and automatically got 23 guys. That's
well, you know, he had last time we had you on, Deadpool 23. Last time we had you on, you like advertised it on your channel that you were going to be on. This time, I think you kept kind of quiet about it.
I did. I haven't been making videos for about a week and a half due to some unfortunate circumstances. I haven't had the time.
Oh man, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, sorry.
We do, and I missed my DS comics video, my weekly Monday video. He usually puts one out every Monday. I didn't get one of those either.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of time to make videos, but usually Monday is a pretty freed up day for part of it for me. So I usually try to throw something out there on Monday, but didn't happen today. I had to work and some stuff going on, so I didn't get to make a video. But I try to get at least one thing out there a week. So actually later on tonight or tomorrow, I might be able to find some time to just do something. I just like to just keep my content out there just once a week, even if it's nothing big.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah, I was forced to watch one of Roger's 30-minute videos today.
It was not 30. It was not 30.
I turned it off after 10. How much longer did it go?
It was like 14 minutes.
Oh, I almost made it to the end.
Yeah, I only had I had a half hour available to watch some videos. So I watched Metarog's, and then Bub, I watched yours, but I didn't watch the whole thing because once I hit 30 minutes, that was it. So Metarog took priority.
Yay!
I used the remaining time for some of yours, and that was that. So
I'm up on the queue on you. I'm above on the queue.
I believe it. So, did you catch my sketch I had done this week?
The one of you and the wife?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. I watched your whole video. Yeah, I saw it.
Oh, you're too kind.
I haven't seen it yet, Bub.
Did you? I missed that part of it because I had to turn it off at that point. I did watch and comment your video, Roger. Who'd you get to do that sketch?
Well, that's you mean the Joker sketch?
Yeah.
That was Kurt, Joker 68.
Okay.
Yeah. What happened is I asked him way back a long time ago when he first was shouting me out, if I could have this, if I could buy this from him, because I just like the, you know, his art there.
Yeah.
And then he said, no, I'm going to give it to you. And then apart from that, he made that sketch for me.
That's cool.
So I just adore it. I mean, I just think that is just fabulous. And, you know, Kurt, you know, with his health issues, you know, I just adore that guy. And I pray that he gets well real soon. Cause I think he's a great member of this community.
You know, yeah. I don't know him, but I always find it interesting when you see or when I hear the people I do like saying the same names. Like you guys, I've heard all of you talk about Joker 68. I've heard about Silver Age Dave talk about Joker 68, and I like that's what turns me on to other channels when people I like start saying them. I'll start checking them out a little bit, and that's it's actually how I found all of you guys actually.
Yeah, unfortunately, because of his health issues, he's not able to do videos right now. But
yeah,
but hopefully when he gets better, he's got an amazing collection. Deadpool. I mean, just jaw-dropping signature. We're talking about signatures today. I think every other book he has is signed.
Yeah,
it's amazing. It's just amazing. I'll show you what he sent me, and half of it was signed. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's got quite a collection, and his videos are quite unique too. Mm-hmm. I know for I think it was maybe a month ago or so, he had another maybe 2 months. He had another bout with his health too, and he was needing he was actually pleading with people to stop sending him AOKs because it was too much to go to the post office to get them all.
Wow.
Yeah,
that right there speaks volumes.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Like. Yep, he's a good one. And Silver Age David announced this week that he, I think it was Friday or Saturday, that he was going to take a hiatus from making videos for a while for his health. So we wish him the best of luck too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
he's. I mean, geez, that guy puts out like 5-6 videos a week. I think sometimes.
He was,
Usually, but not
a little bit.
He slowed down a bit. So he told me to. He asked me to. He texted me and asked me to take over the contest roundup. So that's why you see those yellow stickers everywhere, because I'm going to do that once a week for him.
Well, that's awesome.
If you'd like to go through those on the Monday night chat, that would be fine as well.
Okay, sure. That'd be
great. Especially if you don't want to do. I know that it takes a while to do it in all the detail, but if you had any that you wanted to shout out that we're going to be ending tomorrow or the next day or something like that, definitely give people a heads up. They might catch it on the replay.
I think the only two since you talked about this, Bub, let's just talk about this right now. The two that are ending soonest, which is next week, are C Woodard 19. I think he's in the chat. Hey Carson, I hope you're in there. And Spidey Fan. They both have contests. You can do either comment or video on the Spidey Fan, and you have to do a video for C Woodard 19. But they're ending C Woodard the 23rd and Spidey Fan the 24th.
Cool.
Okay, so guys, if you're in the chat, if you haven't done a contest video and you're able, please support these guys, because these are great members of the community, and they're constantly supporting us.
I appreciate that. Absolutely. I met C. Woodard on Saturday for the first. That was pretty cool. There he is, popping up on the chat.
Yep.
So both him and Matt Funkoff, who's also in the chat, they can both testify to my striking good looks. That I'm not just a pretty voice. That's all I got.
I think Chuck from the Go-To Geeks was there too.
He was, and I didn't catch him, and also Weeclar was there, and your buddy Gio.
Mm-hmm.
They were both there as well. So,
wow, man, that was supposed to be.
Yeah, as it turned out, of course, no one ever walks up to me and says, "Hey, it's you,"
because they don't know what you look like.
But I was so Mike Zeck had a raffle going on. And if you had bought a signature from him or whatever, if you bought something from him, then you were entered into the raffle. And then you had to come back at a couple of different times in the day. So I was standing there waiting for the raffle. I was talking to my wife, and I just kind of look over and I see C. Woodard standing there. And he's, looking like C. Woodard. I mean, you couldn't mistake him. He looked exactly like himself. Imagine that. So, and he looked up, and I said, "Hey, everybody got a number," and he was number 10. And I said, "Hey, number 10." I said, "Is that you, C. Woodard?" He's like, "Yes, that's Bub's Comics." And we said hi and talked for a second. And then behind me, Matt at Funkoff said, "Hey, Bub's Comics." I said, "Hey," he said, "I recognize your voice. I heard you over there." I'm sure I was loud. Like, I heard you over there and recognized your voice. So I thought that was cool. I never heard that never happened before,
That's like an added bonus to going to these conventions that I've recently discovered is I actually, when guys, you make plans to run into guys, but now I've actually started to look for guys because there's, like Metarog, there's a lot of people in our actual community that do YouTube. So the Tampa Bay region has quite a few.
Yeah, I got Don, Comic Book Junkie. I think Batcave Comics.
Yep. ETA Nick.
ETA Nick in Sarasota. Night Tigers over in Ocala.
Wilkin Dead.
Oh, I don't know about him.
Well, he's a coworker. He hasn't made videos in about 6 months, but he used to do a bunch.
Oh, okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, there's a bunch. So
it was pretty neat to meet people at the cons when I went to even just a small con in Bowling Green, Kentucky. I know, right? It's a hot spot. Everybody knows where that's at. So I went to this tiny little con. I mean, it was smaller than a high school gymnasium, and I met two YouTubers there who don't make videos, but they're watchers, and that was pretty cool. And at that time, I have like a Bub's Comic shirt that I wear to cons if I'm not in cosplay, and it's got like a little YouTube symbol on it and stuff. So I get recognized from that. And like, Bub's Comics, I've seen yours, and that's pretty cool. That's nice, because then I get to shout people out in the videos and stuff afterwards. So that's cool.
Oh yeah, that's really neat.
All right, let's see what we got on tap tonight, everybody. Where are we at? Let me go. I tell you, once again, I struggled forever to come up with topics. It's so hard for me. I wish you all knew my struggle.
Let me get my violin out here, Bob.
Comics is such a limited area to talk about.
Oh, yeah. There's really just like 5 major ones out there, and the rest we're just rehashing. So there we go. All right. So we're talking about commissions, original arts, and prints tonight. That's prints, not, Purple Rain prints, but art prints. And I know that Deadpool 2323 has quite a collection of prints. And I know that Roger's been picking up a few. DS is showing the only 2 he has. So we're really thankful. Thank you, DS, for that.
You're welcome. That is accurate, by the way.
Well, I thought we were also – you said you collect some prints too, right? Not just original drawings, but some prints?
Well, I have just these 2 here right now. I don't have anything else. So I've got these 2, and, I'm not sure if these are original art or prints, to be honest. I've looked at them carefully, and they're definitely signed. And they look to be, the smaller one definitely looks like it was drawn on. So I think that may be original. The larger one I think is maybe a print, but they both might be prints. But I'm not 100% sure, honestly. But I've looked at them, and it looks like the marker was put on this one. That's the Emperor. But in any event, I picked these up pretty cheap. It's not a super well-known artist. I'll just tell you what they are. These are, we'll just call them prints. right now for lack of being able to confirm. But they're Errol McCarthy, who was an illustrator who did a lot of illustrations for instruction booklets for games and toys in the 80s and 90s. These are illustrations he did, which were patterned after the instruction booklets of the mini heads by Galoob. They were little heads, and one is Darth Vader and one was the Emperor here. And they would open up, and inside there's a scene. And then I think these toys came out like in the early 90s. But I've got certificates of authenticity for these. They don't specify whether it's a print or not, but it's definitely signed by him. But I just thought they were cool pieces. You don't see these very often. The Darth Vader one, it shows the head open on the side, what it would look like. And then the Emperor one, it's got a little diagram of what the toy would look like open and closed. So I just bought Walmart frames for them. They're kind of cool.
That is cool. I like them.
Yeah, I don't think they're worth a whole lot, but they look cool. And I got this. I had some other ones which I sold, but I kept these two, the Emperor and Darth Vader. So
I remember those toys. My nephews either still have it or used to, and they were pretty neat. Because you had the face, and then you had the action inside, and they would put their figures in there and all that.
I had the little X-Men like flip up comic books. They had a little they looked like a black box, and they had like a comic top, like a cover swipe, and on the inside they had the little figures, and very similar to that. It would pop open, and it had some braces that held it open, and then it had little platforms for the guys to run around on. I think I still have like 3 or 4 of them. I was a big KB Toys kid. There were a couple in my area, and they were always running clearance sales. So, we didn't have a ton of money, but even then I could appreciate a good bargain. So, instead of getting like one toy that I really wanted for like $10, I'd get like 5 toys for $2 a piece out of the clearance bin and have a bunch of toys, So
I remember those bins. I remember those I got a lot of video games from those bins.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Usually the Sega games I'd pull out of those bins were terrible, but I still played them.
Yeah,
until I got frustrated and quit.
Yeah, you get the bottom of the barrel stuff that nobody else wanted, but you get them for like $1 or $2. So you're like, oh yeah, even if it's terrible, we didn't care. We had a game, right?
Oh yeah, I thought about you today, Roger. I went to a comic shop, and they were having a big old video game system blowout. And they were selling, say old, basically just whatever's not the newest system, because they had like Xbox 360s and Wii's and things like that.
Yeah.
But he also had an original Nintendo Entertainment System. And he only had like one controller, I think. And he had an Atari, and he was selling the Atari. I forget which version it was. It was the one that had the little pegs at the top that you kind of moved, had the slide switches.
Yeah, that's the Junior. That's the Atari Junior, yeah.
It was a big one, though.
Was it black?
No, it had that faux wood on the top.
Oh, okay. No, did it have 6 switches or 4 switches?
Yeah, like 6.
Okay, so that's a. Did it have a rounded on the bottom, or was it more square? Or maybe you didn't pay attention to that, but so that's either a heavy 6er or a light 6er.
I'm not sure. I remember when I was a kid, I had one of those, but then I also had, what was it, the 7800 or something, the one that was just above that?
Yeah. No, yeah. Well, above that is a 5200, and then the 7800.
Yeah. So I think I had those two.
Cool.
When I was a kid. But this one, so he had this one and all the games on the table too, which were maybe 10, 15 games or so. And he had the original paddle, the Pong paddles. Remember those?
Oh, yeah. I got them.
But he did not have the original controllers. They were like aftermarket controllers.
Yeah, those are terrible.
Yeah, they are. And that's what I told him too. He's like, I don't know why I can't sell this thing. Usually people have. I said, because you don't have the contrors.
Yeah.
I said, the controllers are hard to come by in good condition.
Yeah, those are the first things to break, those controllers. They were not, even the Atari original ones were not of high quality.
Yeah. So anyway, it was only like $50. If you want me to go back and get it, I will.
I got like three of them.
All right. So we looked at DS's sketches. let's take a look. I know Deadpool 23. That'll take like an hour to look at his sketches. He's got like 1,500 of them.
I'm only pulling out 3 of them.
All right, well then pull out your 3 and let's take a look.
The first one here I have is so I'm going through this thing where I'm collecting X-Men sketches. This one was done by Dawn McTeague. If you're not familiar with her artwork, check her out. She's amazing.
Even if you don't like artwork, check her out. She's amazing.
Yeah, yes. there is that too. That is correct. But anyway, so she was only supposed to do like a little corner initially, and then I told her to just put it in the center. She was just supposed to do a headshot, and she did like a bust. And man, she did an amazing job. And she normally charges for a full cover with color $500. She charged me $50 for that.
Wow.
So
that's a bargain, man.
Yeah, it really was. And I decided because she did such a good job, I wanted to get it kind of immortalized so there's no question of whoever did it or anything. And once I started doing one, I couldn't stop, man. I had to keep doing them. So that was at Free Comic Book Day, and so was this. And this is Graham Nolan who did this, my Submariner. Mike Perkins did Iron Fist, and Tom Rainey did my Wolverine.
Yeah,
and,
I love that one.
I don't know if you guys remember, but the last time I was on, we were talking about Neil Adams.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he could do Wolverine, and I said I already have one, and he goes, yes, but not a Neil Adams Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's why I don't want a Neil Adams Wolverine.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. Was that this past May?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I saw them there, but I didn't see you.
I was there the whole day, so you saw me. You just didn't know it was me.
I didn't see you, man.
And then there's the Neil. Then there's the Neil Adams book.
Nice.
So he did a good job. I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
I'd have liked to have it colored, but not for another $200.
Oh, is that what it was? $400 for color?
I don't remember. He might have only charged me $100, but yeah, I just didn't feel like spending another $100 to get it colored. I like it either way. So
you could have found an inker down Artist Row that would finish it off for like $20. Probably,
but I don't know. But that's the 3 commissions. Well, I guess you could say 4 because I have this one. Roger, this guy's local. Name's AJ Morrow.
Mm-hmm.
And, he was I don't know if you went to Batman Day at Yancey Street, but
no, I didn't. No,
he only charged me $40 for this, and that included.
Oh man, that's a bargain, man. Oh man, yeah, I'd love to get a Metarog with like a Master of Kung Fu down there. That would be fabulous.
Oh yeah, but it was a Deadpool blank, and I had him add the 2323 as an homage to the king size annual Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
And
number 1.
Yep. Yeah, one of my favorite covers. It's Steranko cover.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's awesome. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. And what's that other one?
This one?
Yeah.
That's not a sketch. That's up there for you.
Awesome. Thanks. Oh man, that's feral looking, isn't it?
That's Billy Tucci. You know who Billy Tucci is?
Oh yeah, She.
That's his Virgin cover to Wolverine She.
Yeah. My goodness.
You don't have that?
I do not have that. No.
Well, text me your address. You have it now.
Oh, you're too good. I don't have really any virgins in my collection. Hardly. I think I have 1 or 2.
I'm not a big virgin guy.
I was trying to be good. You just do what you got to do.
I'm not a big variant guy.
Yeah. Oh, I like variants. I don't have a lot of virgin variants.
I have a lot of variants. Recover from that, guys.
I'm kind of a Thundercat Cougar kind of guy.
Well, I think that's a new record. Just 40 minutes before we got in the gutter this time.
Yeah.
Been steering her straight, huh?
I'm an innocent angel over here. You guys are sucking me in.
I'm sure there's somewhere in the chat and somebody just money.
Oh yeah. Oh, my virgin variant ears. They're soiled at last. Well, that's awesome. I really like that. And I tell you, you just put up that Hulk 181 Club.
Yeah.
I've looked everywhere. There's like a couple of, there's a ASM 300 Club. There's a couple of them, and I haven't been able to kind of, I think it's like 3 or 4 that I'm aware of. And I haven't been able to, oh, you bum. Look at that. I want those. Where do you get those? Yep.
So there's a group on Facebook. And they're called I Love Comic Book Stuff. You're going to love this one, Bub.
Oh, yeah. That is
nice.
Sweet.
The Miller
They have
#1 cover.
They give them away for free, but you have to win their contests.
Oh. How hard is it to win the contest?
It's easy. You just have to post when he puts the contest up. You have to post a picture of yourself holding the book, and then you have to pick a 3-digit number. And then when the time's up on the contest, he does a randomizer, and it picks up the 6 winners.
Are there usually a lot of entrants?
Yeah. I mean, there's 2,500 people in the group. Yikes. When I joined the group, there was less than 100.
Oh.
So,
JPL Flash asks, is that only Marvel?
They do have some DC, but I wouldn't have them.
Okay. Yeah, Deadpool's not a DC guy. We know that.
No. Now let's call it like it is. I'm a minor. I major. It's like a college degree. I major in Marvel. I minor in DC.
Okay, good. I don't think I've ever seen you with a DC.
I think he showed off some DC in one of his latest videos. Actually, it wasn't too long ago, a week or 2 ago. I saw him showing some DC stuff.
I'm trying to remember. I think you're right. I think I do remember some of the okay, there we go.
I love
that's that. Is that the first Man Bat?
Yeah, Detective 400. That's a Neil Adams cover too.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
See that so there's a great example. So that was the book that I originally wanted to get. They're not impossible to get, although they're awesome books. I was wanting to get that book, and that was the book I was wanting to get signed by Neil Adams. And the main reason that I was going to select that book to get signed, other than that I'm a Man Bat fan, was to ask him if he intended, because when you look at that book, to me, it almost looks like he didn't really mean to draw that way. Like maybe he started with the city and then stopped. Or maybe he started drawing them and then realized he had nothing for them to stand on. So I was going to ask him, like, which came first? Was it the characters that came first and then you drew in the city? Or was it the city that came first and then you added the characters? But after hearing your story on what a jerk he was, I was like, I don't think I want to have a conversation that lasts more than 3 sentences.
For him.
Go ahead.
Well, when you're as creative and as good as I am, sometimes it just puts life in front of you, and you just put the pen to paper and it happens.
Yeah. Kid, son. Yeah.
Tell the lie, son. Tell the lie.
Yeah, tell the lie. I'm telling you, that story, I treated him when I got a sketch or a comic signed by him. I guess I'll show for the 2 of you that didn't watch my video today. There's in the chat, I mean. There's my Tomb of Dracula. I got signed on Saturday by the legend in his own mind, Neil Adams. And of course, he's a legend. He is. I mean, at least he's as good as he thinks he is.
He's a legend.
Yeah, he is.
There's no doubt he's a legend. It's just he's a jerk legend,
Yeah. So when I walked up to get this signed, I treated him like the soup Nazi. I mean, I counted my steps forward. I waited till he acknowledged my presence, which took actually a second or 2. Like he didn't even look up from what he was doing. And then I waited. I didn't say anything to him until he looked up and he said, "What can I do for you?" And I was like, "Well, I would like you to sign my Tomb of Dracula 1, please." And I took it out of the thing and I laid it before him and he said, "Okay." And he signed it. And then he said, "I'm going to let you put that back in." I said, "Okay." I put it back in. He never smiled. He barely looked up. And I just took a step to the right and paid the lady. That was it.
Wow.
I want no part of it.
How's that for some DC there, Roger?
What was that?
How's that for some DC?
Yeah. Well, okay. You got me, man. You got me. You got me. You got me with the detective over there. You got me with the Joker cover. You got me. Was that in this last haul that you got?
All my DC covers.
Hold on. Was that in that Craigslist haul that you had?
Yeah, the one that I called you about.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. I wish I would have. I wish I could have gone for that, but I couldn't. My kitchen remodeling killed me.
Have you guys done any co-hunting?
Not yet.
We haven't even met yet. He keeps standing me up.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Well, one time he had to work. He had to work one time, and I had my kitchen, and I was out of town the other time. But he won my contest. So,
I did.
Oh, that's right.
So he told me, "Hey, don't ship it to me. We're gonna go do lunch, and maybe we'll go to the pawn shop and look over there. I don't know." He said that he's gonna have
pawn shop.
Huh?
How do you like the pawn shop?
The guy's great. I've talked to him a few times, and the only thing is he didn't have too many newer dollar books, But he said that by the end of this week or the beginning of next week, he's going to put in like 4 or 5 new boxes.
Yeah, you know what they are?
No.
Boxes I sold them.
Oh. Oh boy. Oh well. I guess I'll be going alone.
Oh no, I'll still go there with you because I get to hunt different than you do.
Oh, that's right. You go in the back.
That's right.
Yeah. I haven't gone to that level yet, I guess.
I bought a Secret Wars 8 off them for $10.
Oh,
man, that's nice.
You crook. You're killing me.
He sets the price. I just pay it.
You're killing me. Yeah, he's got some nice stuff in the case too, but the prices are a little high. But
yeah, he had a book in the case. This book right here for $80 in the case, and I bought it from him for $20. So,
geez.
Sweet.
I just love that cover, and it's a 9.6, so why not? For $20, why not?
Yeah, I think that's a burn cover. Oh man.
Oh, it is. It is.
DS has got some DC love showing. What you got going? Oh man, that's that not swamp, not man thing, right?
Yeah, I just threw up. We were talking about Neil Adams, and I had 2 within arm's reach, so I just grabbed. And one of them is the Tech 400. Just on this one though, I just got this year, not too long ago. I didn't realize they were standing on that cityscape until I got the book in my hand. I thought they were airborne the whole time I've seen this book. But when I actually got it, they are standing. They're larger than life. They're giants, basically standing on the city. I didn't even realize that until I got the book. So
I always thought it was kind of like an homage to those Godzilla movies, where he takes on Rodan and they're like towering over a city.
Yeah, I mean, it is like that. I thought they were airborne, and it was a close-up of them airborne over the city until I actually got the book, and they're standing in it. So that was something I didn't know about the book until just recently.
Well, that's one of the reasons that I find it so fascinating, because if you look at that book, and I'll just stay on that if you don't mind, when you're looking at that book, you can tell that there's a definite difference in the art, the way that he drew the city and the way that he drew the people. Not just that they're larger than life to me, but also you could completely wipe out the city and they would look like they were in a normal fighting position. And then if you completely wipe them out, the city looks perfect too. So to me, one had to come before the other. I think there's no way that he drew it all together with an intention of drawing them larger than life in the city. I think he either drew the city and then realized that the characters were going to have to be way too small on the I think it was an error in some way that created this great cover, but there's no way I would have asked him that because he got all pissed off. So,
well, I'm going to Baltimore at the end of this month, and he's going to be there, and I'm probably going to bring a couple books. I'll definitely bring this Tech 400. I may bring this other one that I'm showing or something else. I may or may not see if I can get something signed by him. If I do, I will ask him that and share his discussion with me, whether he's nice about it or not, whether he answers me or not. And, I'll bring that up if I talk to him.
Well, DS, this is what I'll say. More than likely, from what I've seen, he'll talk to you. He has no problem talking about himself.
Yeah.
And so just to put this kind of my feelings on the guy's personality and how it affects him. Unquestionably, in my mind, he's one of the top 5 artists of all time when it comes to comic books. In my mind, and forgive me for saying this, there's nobody in line, and he's charging the same amount or less as Rob Liefeld, and Rob Liefeld is nonstop signing autographs all day long. So what does that say about the guy's personality? And I've heard people talk negative about Rob Liefeld too, but I don't know. It blows me away that the guy was literally, and C. Woodard comment that there was nobody at his booth the whole day.
There wasn't.
It was the same at Tampa. There was nobody at his booth the whole day.
Yeah, that's really surprising to me, though, because, I mean, when you see, like, I haven't been to a real con in, like, 20-something years, so this will be one of the first ones. But just when the stories other people say, like, nobody's at Neil Adams' booth, and then Rob Liefeld has lines at his, and I think those two artists, just personally for me, there's no contest between the two. Neil Adams,
not at all,
is far superior to Rob Liefeld as an artist. They're not even in the same class for my taste. But certainly they're both giants in comics. You would expect to have a similar number of people at each. So it blows my mind that Liefeld's that busy and Neil Adams you can just walk right up and there's no line. I don't get it.
I tell you what was funny is that Neil Adams' booth was absolutely huge. It had like maybe probably at least 6, maybe 8 tables strung together of prints.
4 or 5 attendants at ours.
Yep. And those are, I call them his criers, you know?
Yeah.
Like his comic criers, you know, like, hey, like I literally just walked, and I did intend, but I was looking for a nice place to pull the book out because I had them all packaged, you know, securely. So I was looking for a nice place to set down my bag and pull out the book that I wanted him to sign. And I didn't want to set it on his table with all those prints there because I figured somebody would probably shoo me away. So I was kind of walking around the booth, but I was looking for another place to set my bag. And his criers like all converged on me. I'm like, great. Am I not far enough away? And they're like, oh, hey, well, you got some books. So what do you got? You need a print? Why don't you come buy a print? It's the great Neil Adams. Come get what's your problem? Why don't you just come over here and get a signature? I'm like, what are you guys talking about? I said, I already have a book to get signed. Oh, great. Get your book out. Come on, we'll get it signed. Well, step right up. I'm like, you guys are fucking nuts.
That's a hard sell, man. Come on.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah,
yeah, Bob. I was worried you were going to get into a fight with Neil Adams because I knew you were going to go see him and try to get that signed, and I thought you were going to start haggling with him over the price. Be like, man, there's nobody here. I'll give you 25 or something. And knowing what Deadpool said about his experience with him, I thought the two of you were going to have fisticuffs there because you were going to try to haggle him down, and he was going to bring his ego to bear on your logic.
No, but I had toyed with the idea that if he was a real jerk, that he was the last person I went to for the day. So I had actually toyed with the idea that if he was a real jerk, that after he signed it, I was just going to refuse to pay and walk away. I didn't have a Sunday ticket. I only had a Saturday ticket. So what are they going to do? Throw me out? I'm already walking away. You know, got nothing to do here. I had actually toyed with that. Just if he was that mean and that nasty, I was going to say, you ruined my book and you owe me money for this book. And if you don't want to pay me, fine, I'm still leaving. So, but it didn't turn out that way. Like I said, I didn't want a bad experience with him. And it seemed like if you engage his personality, at best, you've got a 50-50 shot of him being a jerk. So,
well, I'll report back.
Don't judge a guy on my experience. That was just my experience. And that was also the last day at the very end of a long 3 days for him, I'm sure. So maybe he's not that way all the time, but that was just my experience.
Well, I plan on seeing him in Baltimore, so we'll see what happens when I go up there. I've got these two and a couple other things, and depending on the money situation or what I find, I'll definitely, if I'm getting any signatures, it'll be his. So I most likely will be at his table there.
Splash Page Comics in the comments section in the chat said, I've never had problems with Neil Adams, and I've had plenty of conversations with him. And, you know, Mr. White Gloves there didn't have a problem. So, and the first time I met Neil Adams was a couple years ago, and I didn't really talk to him because his criers were just kind of creepy. But he did kind of pick his head up, and he was smiling at least. And then I think he had said something kind of rude to me. I forget what it was. Something along the lines of like, what, you don't see anything you like? Because he had a lot of books and things for sale. Like at that time he was pushing his Batman book pretty hard. He had like a volume 1 and volume 2 had just come out. And he was like, what, you don't see anything you like? And I was like, no, I'm good. I just kept walking, you know, but I don't know. I just didn't want a bad experience because I hate to spend $50 for a bad experience.
Yeah. So that was all the commissions I have. We got on Neil Adams here again.
Yeah. No wonder he's so egotistical, right?
Yeah.
Everybody talks about him all day. Roger, what do you got? You got any sketches or commissions or prints you want to show off tonight?
Well, they're all from better sources than you guys have, because they're all from my friends in the YouTube community. These are not from Neil Adams or anybody else. These are people that I know. Okay, so this one here is my birthday card from Matilda Gothica. And this here was her little sketch for my entry into my 100 subscriber contest. And then she made me this one this is the one that she made for the entry to my most recent contest. And look at this Sue Storm here.
Oh, that's my favorite one.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah.
That is gorgeous with the, turning invisible or turning visible. I'm not sure what the progression is here, but Matilda is a very, I just really admire her artwork. Although she sometimes puts it down, I just think it's wonderful, but and then I have this lithograph that I got from One-Legged Books, obviously Kirby. And this is what Kirby would take to conventions, because he when he was on his older years, he couldn't draw fast enough to really make sketches for his fans. So he would bring this and he would sign it, and that's what he would give out to fans.
That's awesome. I was hoping you'd show that tonight when I put the topic up there. I was really hoping I'd see that again.
Yeah, I'm looking high and low for a good frame for this, and I have not been able to find it. But I will, because this deserves a frame, definitely. I'm going to have it, Captain America themed. So
it's pretty awesome. That's cool. I didn't have too many to show myself either. I'll show variations on a theme. So the first one this is the first comic that I ever had sketched of myself. And it was a guy named Mason Easley. He was fantastic. It was about maybe 3 years ago. So that's me, if you can believe that. And of course, I told him to give me the comic treatment. So, so then you see if any of these three guys look the same. Oh, and that's Eve Miles. She was a co-star of Torchwood, if you've ever seen that show. It's like a Doctor Who spinoff. Captain Jack Harkness, and I was cosplayed as Jack Harkness. And then she was a co-star, so I had that done together, and then it was a blank sketch cover, and he drew. I got a picture made with her, took the picture to him. He drew all this, and then I took it back, and Eve signed it. So that was cool. Nice. But let me ask you, does this guy and this guy look anything alike? I could be wrong. But something has happened to this man. Life was not kind to him. He lost hair. One of his eyes started sagging. He gained about 200 pounds. It was rough.
Yeah, he grew up neck. I mean.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
And the nose kind of like spread out a little bit.
Oh, it's a mess. It's an absolute mess. But, you get what you pay for sometimes. Actually, this one was more expensive than that one because it had 3 people in it. And a lot of them, the more people that they have to draw, the higher they charge. So
that Doctor Who one is really, really cool. I mean, really
I love that one. That's probably my favorite of all of them. But, the one that I had done Saturday, this one I had sent away, same artist as this one. Mm-hmm. So we'll take the whoever those people are away. It's just ridiculous. I was still thankful to have it, and I was nice to the guy. But it's funny when that other one. So when we had this one done, right? I got to see it first because I was kind of like checking in on the guy throughout the con, trying to seeing how it was going, and I had already seen it was not going to go well, right? So I went over to my family, and I have my son's very young, even though he's huge. He's like 6'2", but he's only like 14. So,
whoa, how tall are you?
I'm 6'2" and like a third. So he's almost got me. Man. And I just stopped growing last week. So he's got.
I think you're still growing in one way. There.
Thank you. My nose is growing. I'm sure that's what you mean.
Based on those pictures.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. So
that explains the differences.
When I had this picture done, I had already seen it, and I saw, how artists I don't want to hurt guys' feelings, and I was going to be happy pretty much with anything. It was a nice sketch. It's the first time the three of us had a sketch done together. So I was like, this would be really nice. So I went to him, and I looked at it, and I was like, oh, man, this is going to be bad. So then I went back to my son and my wife, and I told my son specifically, you don't laugh at this or fuss about this or get mad or anything. Don't embarrass me. Don't embarrass the artist. When you go back over there, just if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all, right? So, and they hadn't seen it. So they go back over there. Of course, my wife, who doesn't look anything like that, she looks like this. So you can see the difference. She was none too pleased either. So when she saw it, she was like, oh my God. And when I saw it, I was just focused on it too. But when my son saw that, he was like, wow, that's perfect. And it was. He looks just like that. That could be a picture. It was ridiculous. Wow. I was so focused on how bad I looked, and she was so focused on how she looked, nobody noticed that he looked perfect. So, so anyway, we got a good one of him. I feel like this is a good one of me back here. And this is probably the best one of my wife. So we're all around. We ended up getting good covers on all of them. Mason did a fantastic job on this one. I sent him a picture about a month ago. It started out as a surprise for my wife for our anniversary. But I changed my mind because I was having such a good time texting back and forth with the artist. And I felt like I was keeping that joy from her, because it was so much fun. So we ended up I ended up telling her and showing her, and the first couple of versions of it were, like any art, you're looking at it a little tough, and you're like, I don't know, can you do this, can you do that? But you don't want to push too hard, because if you push too hard, you're going to end up with like a handlebar mustache and like, a bunch of worry lines and all kinds of stuff. I mean, you don't want to push an artist. So most of the time, whenever he asked me a question, I said, hey, just do whatever looks good. You're the artist. But a couple of times I had to jump in there and say, hey, can I get a little more hair? Like, even if it's, you have to say, even if it's not accurate, just help me out, Just help me out, man. Make me look like I deserve her, at least, So anyway, so those are the three sketches I'll show off tonight. And I too have a Matilda original. There's a Matilda Gothica original. Zlata is my BUB'S comics. And so anyway, that's what I had to show. Oh, here's my signature wall. If you guys haven't seen that yet, I don't think I've shown that off since I put up the new books. So there's, of course, Neil Adams' Tomb of Dracula 1, X-Men 94, Chris Claremont. My new Mike Zeck signed Secret Wars 8, which is absolutely gorgeous. I love that one. And Mike Zeck was super reasonable. Someone had told me, anyway, there's a Jim Lee X-Men 1. There's my new John Bolton, I think it's Classic X-Men 10. And there's my Stan Lee signed Fantastic Four 105.
Nice.
So thank you. Someone had said that Mike Zeck was like $35 a signature. And I was like, well, he is one of the ones that I really wanted. So I'm good with spending that, but I'm probably only going to get one. So I labored and had lists and laid them all out on a table for my wife to pick through and say, which one should I get? And finally we had decided of course, Secret Wars #8, but I was thinking about getting more, and we said, no, we'll just get this one because we wanted to have enough money for the $50 Neil Adams signature to come. So, and then it turned out like Mike Zeck, $5 per signature. Wow. I was like, are you kidding me? I would have brought like 10.
10, yeah. Man.
Couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. But anyway, and he was really nice. And John Bolton really was the class act of the day. He was awesome, so funny. And his wife, and they were British, and it was like talking to JPL Flash. It was great.
They were British. What are they now?
I suppose they're still British, but he got.
It's like they were British.
They are British.
Are they now American citizens?
I can't attest to what they are now. I haven't seen them today, but they were really nice. I did want to. Oh yeah, I wanted to get that book signed. That was the one That was another one I was going to get signed. That's a print though, isn't it?
Yeah, signed by Mike Zeck. If you buy his prints, he signs them for free.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have a book. I didn't realize he was going to be at the con I went to that he was at. So
yeah, I think that Captain America annual there with Wolverine and Captain America, that Zeck cover, I think that is already an expensive and well-known and sought-after book. But I think that's going to go down as one of the iconic covers of the Copper Age.
Yeah.
Top 10 easily. It's just fantastic cover.
I'm just hoping he comes back next year because I've got that book and I wanted it signed real bad and I didn't get it signed because I picked the Secret. I mean, really, if you could have either one signed, would you pick the Secret Wars 8 or would you pick that one?
There we go.
Oh, there you go. Yep.
What is that you're showing?
Who?
Yeah, Deadpool.
Oh, that's a Dawn McTeague print. She only did 100 of them. That's number 15 out of 100. It was a gift.
Nice,
man. Deadpool, man, you're leading a charmed life over there, man.
No, I'm not.
With the burgers you get at the pawn shop and at Yancey Street. Come on.
Oh, I like that one.
Come on, man. You're a legend. Come on. Tell him, Roger.
Come on, man.
That's awesome.
He's got his sorcerer's ways, man. I don't know how he does those things.
She was at the con. She was in the Cincinnati con. Dawn McTeague was. Not bad. I was gonna have her sign a selfie, but I couldn't get it to print out in time. So she's not bad at all. She had a line, so that was interesting. Neil Adams had no line. Mike Zeck had like 2 people on a line, and then Dawn McTeague had no. She had a huge line. She had like 20 people lined up to get something from her.
Dude, I know. I don't know how much she made, but I know she cleared 10 grand at Free Comic Book Day.
Wow!
I watched one young girl in her early 20s, literally walk up with a credit card and buy $1,500 worth of prints and original art from her.
And that's her Joker print too you have there?
No, this is Pat Broderick. I actually have a bunch of prints sitting here. I was just pulling them out. I actually got this in a collection I was going through, and I was buying a bunch off a guy, and he had it just laying there, and he just gave it to me.
You see what I mean?
But I wanted to prove once again that I'm not strictly Marvel.
You see what I mean? It's a charmed life over there.
Well, the both of you are pretty charmed. Have a pretty charmed life down there in Florida. You got year-round comic hunting and great weather. I mean, you get further up north, wintertime is not so fun to go hunting around for comics.
Did you hear my video about when I had to go to that sweaty garage with about 200-300 pounders next to me?
Yeah,
that was not fun.
Let me ask you, Roger. Did you see this guy there? Was he there? Because he looks like a sweaty 300-pound garage sailor right there.
Yeah, that's a lightweight. The guy I was talking about had double that size.
Did you have any more commissions to show? I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to steal the show.
Yes, you were, you charmed lifer.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Did you have anything else to show, Roger? Or are we talking about me?
I just wanted to show, I've already shown this, but this is what Jake Stir Fry Centauri Stir Fry. I won one of I got second place on his contest, and I had no idea he was sending me this. This was not part of the prize pool or anything like that. And this shows up, and I mean, this is just fantastic, guys. I mean, look at the detail on that skull and the flames, and he personalized it over here. I mean,
that's pretty awesome.
Gosh, I mean, we have such talent. That was my point, that we have such incredible talent in this community, artists and writers too. You know, we have Chris, who's a writer. We have Tat, who's a great artist. I think he's in the chat right now. I mean, we have Andy from Andy's Vinyl Den. He's a creator. There's just dozens of guys out there that have so much talent in this community, and let me tell you, I am just tickled pink whenever I get something from these guys, because to me this is more special than this is my opinion, than getting it from an artist, because I know these guys. These are my buddies, my friends. They comment on my videos, and to know that they did this for me just means the world to me.
And I would venture to guess.
Agree more with you. I put up I actually have gotten 3 from YouTubers myself. The inked Deadpool is from Comic Hunter 1014, and then the other 2 are from my buddy, the Wilkin Dead. And man, they're my favorite of all my commissions. They are honestly my favorite.
Yeah, that's an awesome Deadpool. Awesome.
So next time I send DS and AOK, I'm gonna have to put like a little stick figure in there so we can show something from the community.
When I sent you a AOK, I tried to draw you a Wolverine, and I actually tried 3 times, and I was like, screw it, this is ridiculously bad. So I didn't even, and it started out, I took it seriously, and within a minute or 2, it was obvious it was not even close. And the second one, I tried to do a simpler cartoony version, couldn't get it. Then I tried a stick figure Wolverine, and it looked like a scarecrow, and I was like, screw it, I'll just write a note and send it. Yeah, I have a lot of respect and admiration for these people in the community that can draw, because I tried drawing just a stick figure Wolverine. I couldn't even get it to even look like a Wolverine. So,
yeah, as do I. I really think that, you know, when I collect all this art from different, you know, comics and prints and all that kind of stuff, it's mostly because it's something that I can't even begin to do, because my art skills are terrible. Like people who make their own beer in their bathtub, they don't go buy Bud Light on the weekend. You know, they make their own. That's it. That's all they ever drink. You know, people make their own cheese, or I don't know. If you make your own tables, you probably never buy another table. But, you know, I can't draw, so I got to buy someone else's. And that's kind of how I look at it. So I really appreciate all the artistry that goes on, in not just in the community, but in the published works too. I mean, I could never even think about drawing like that. And my brother has a lot of talent. My father has talent. My sister is talent. I have a niece, or 2 nieces actually, that are in their state. They are artist scholars or whatever, and have won multiple awards and did work for Google and other published works. And I can't do any of that. Like, I couldn't even color in the lines. That's how bad I am. So I guess that might be one reason why I collect all this art, is because I really appreciate how difficult it would be for me to do it, or basically impossible.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. I can't draw my way out of a paper bag. So.
All right, so let me throw oh, I'm sorry, Metarog, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, to me, that the fact that they have this talent just is mind-blowing, because, like you said, I have written before, you know, narratives and things, but I cannot draw, not a lick. Yeah,
I'm with you. I can't do very well at that. But if anybody's interested in seeing a movie and they really dig comic book art, there was a movie in the 70s called Crumb. And it's a documentary about Robert Crumb, who did underground artwork. A lot of people probably heard of him. He did Zap Comics and Mr. Natural. But there's a documentary called Crumb, and it shows a lot of it's just basically hanging out with him and his brother and his son. It shows them doing art, the process of drawing and stuff he's done, and his taste. It's a really cool movie for anybody who's into comic books or art. So I would recommend that to anybody. It's called Crumb. It's a documentary from the 70s.
Thanks. Hey, weren't you supposed to see a movie this week and report back?
Yeah, what happened to that?
Yeah, I didn't get to it. It's still on my list. I will still do a review.
You're terrible at homework, DS. you failed this class, because I'm telling you, he hadn't done any homework he was supposed to do.
Well, I need to request an extension because I haven't been able to watch that yet.
You're an incomplete.
Wait, actually, you know what?
That's it. Incomplete.
Here's what happened. I looked up the movie and it was available, but it was a night that me and Mrs. DS were spending together, and I had said, "Hey, let's watch this movie together. This looks cool," and she shot it down. So, yeah, it's gonna have to be at a time when I'm movie watching by myself because I tried to like sneak it in there with her for movie night, and it didn't fly.
We'll give you an A for effort there. What was the movie again?
Swamp Thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing. Oh yeah, she wouldn't have gone for that one.
No, but I tried to build it up and talked about the character and the comics, and we've been watching. She likes some of that campy stuff from the '80s, so I thought maybe I could sneak that in, but it didn't have any appeal at all, and I don't blame her really. But I'll check it out and report back. I just haven't yet.
All right.
If she likes stuff from the '80s, check out that Netflix show Stranger Things.
Oh yeah, we binge watched that whole thing.
Don't talk about it. I'm only 3 episodes into the 2nd season, and it's a show that me and my wife watch together only. So,
all right, yeah. Well, we watched that. That was one of our shows that we were excited, and we watched all of it. Some other ones we watched, if anybody's interested, is Black Mirror. That's on Netflix. Probably the best sci-fi series I've ever seen.
Yeah,
ever. Really I'm not going to talk much about it. Each episode is like one of the best sci-fi movies I've ever seen. Each episode is top notch. So if anybody hasn't seen Black Mirror on Netflix, that's phenomenal.
I'll look into it.
Yeah, it is good stuff. It is. It really is. I'm not much for that stuff, but even I admit that is top notch sci-fi.
Yeah, I'm a sci-fi fan anyway, but that is that blew me away right from the beginning, and that's one of the best shows I've ever seen.
Yeah, see, Woodard is like, hey, Thunder in Paradise. I actually tried to find that online, but I couldn't find it. That Hulk Hogan movie that I think JPL Flash said to watch, but I couldn't. None of my streaming services have it.
I remember it so well. I know that I don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
I remember that movie plenty well enough.
I'm pretty sure I don't either, but I remember promising James that if I found it, I would watch it. So, but I couldn't. I mean, I had it like major insomnia one night at like 2 a.m, and I said, "Oh, what the heck." So I just went through all the streaming services, and no, they didn't have it.
Do you have Amazon Prime? They have a lot of stuff on there that's not anywhere else.
I had Amazon. I couldn't find it.
Wow. Okay. Yep. Has anybody seen that movie Tim's Vermeer? That's an art-related movie.
No.
Yeah.
What's it called? Tom's Veneer?
Tim's Vermeer, and the Vermeer is Johann Vermeer, the Renaissance painter. But it's just a guy named Tim, and it's his version of Vermeer. And I'm not going to talk much about it, but if you're into art, check that movie out because it blow you away. It's an excellent movie, and not a lot of people know of it. And it came out recently, but it's Tim's Vermeer, and it's a phenomenal movie about if you're into art, especially the process of art, and it's the process of creating art, and it's brilliant. That movie's brilliant. So
cool. Let's check it out. That would be one that you watch to enjoy, not just to cringe at, right?
Right. Yeah, that's a movie to enjoy. Yes. I like movies to cringe at too. In the last week, I've watched The 5 Deadly Venoms, which I've seen previously.
I've seen that.
Yeah, that's the best kung fu movie ever made. And then what else?
Kung Pao Chicken was pretty good.
Who started that? General Cho?
What's that?
Who starred in that? General Cho?
Yeah.
Starring that?
Oh man!
I watched Godzilla versus.
Coming hard and heavy tonight.
Yeah, one of those. What was that Godzilla movie? Godzilla versus. I can't remember the one that came out in 1976. I just bought the comic book that was handed out at the theater for that, and I can't even remember the name of it.
It wasn't versus Mecha, right? It was. It was the first U.S. release, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I can't remember.
Was it Rodan or Ghidra?
No, it was a weird. It started with an M, I thought.
Mothra?
No.
Mothra.
No.
Somebody in the chat must know.
Mohedra or something like that, or Mover, or dang it. I know which one you're talking about. He's in the comic too. Don't you have the comic laying around somewhere? It's already off the CGC.
No, it's not off the CGC yet. It's here. It's not within reach right now, but I just can't remember the name of it. But I've seen it before, but it's been a while. But Yeah, I watched that. That was a campy. But the two of those, that and Five Deadly Venoms, are both awesome campy cult classic movies.
Cool.
Yeah,
Somebody was it UDS
different.
mentioned
Megalon, Godzilla
Megalon.
Megalon.
There you go.
Yeah,
Megalon. I knew it started with an M. I got that far.
Yeah.
These Zap comics were some of the first ones that I sold on eBay. Like some of the first set of comics that I sold, I'd come across them. At that time, I saw that adults only, and it's all kind of weird and wonderful, and just weird.
Yeah, there you go.
Planters Peanut knockoff there.
Yes, that's what it is, Roger. Do you not own any of these?
No, I don't think I've ever had an Underground.
That's a reprint, though, obviously, right, Bub? I mean, you don't have a first print of that, do you?
This I think is a third print.
Okay.
It's one of the earlier prints. They go up to like 7 or I can't show that. They go up to like 7 or 8 prints.
That is why I don't have any. I have a daughter.
Yeah. I have a son, but I keep my cabinets locked.
He's 2, so.
Yeah, that's Robert Crumb. He's got some pretty crass stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, really, it's interesting, and it's very original type art. And there wasn't a lot of them. He mainly did his independent underground type stuff in California in the 70s. So there wasn't a lot of them printed to begin with, but he caught on, and they did a lot of second, third, fourth, and further prints. But really interesting, unique stuff. But the documentary about him is his process of creating this stuff. So
cool.
There's a market for it.
Did they try to arrest him sometime back for pornography or not pornography? I'm thinking of the wrong. But they tried to arrest him because his drawings were deemed pornographic or lewd somehow, and they tried to arrest him. This was a long time ago.
Maybe he was, during the late 60s and into the 70s in Berkeley, San Francisco, California areas. So I think they probably establishment was trying to arrest a lot of people back then, and I'm sure he was one of them. I don't know off the top of my head, but yeah, his stuff is arrestable if you see it.
Arrestable, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's back then very different than now. I mean, now this stuff is everywhere, but back then, oh boy, if you saw one of those, that's it. You got set to your room for a month. So I never met.
Wait, do you get to go with the comic?
Oh heck no! You get to go with you get to go with a red hiney. That's what you get to go with.
I'm still confused. Do you get the comic or not?
Yeah, in ashes you get it.
Oh no, that's messed up.
Oh, I was going to tell you, Bub. Somebody here said hi to you. I didn't recognize the name. Ricky Camargo, I think it was. Ricky Camacho. Do you know him?
If you say so.
No, well, he says hi, Bub, so I figured you know.
Well, yeah, I assume. Probably a subscriber. I'm trying to look. I don't see him on there.
It was a ways back there.
Oh well, heck fire. Yeah, I mean that's
heck fire.
I can't keep up. I'm busy directing here.
The Kentucky twang comes out there.
Oh yeah, Ricky Camacho. Yeah, sure. Hey, what's up, bub? Yeah, hey Ricky. There you go. There's a bunch of people in chat tonight. We've had a pretty active little group. Worked out good.
Bad Dad's in here. Have you seen Bad Dad's collection? Anybody?
Oh yeah.
Oh my.
That's good stuff.
Oh, he has that spinner rack, and there's 2 amazing fantasies up there, and I'm like, oh, it's obscene. That is obscene. That is an obscene collection right there.
We should send Deadpool 2323 over there to ring his bell, and he'll probably shove 3 under the door. That's his luck. Go away. We don't want any, and take these with you.
Oh man.
Hey, real quick, guys. I just want to say, since we were talking about sketches, and I think I showed these in the last video or the last show I did, but next year in May, these will be going up for auction for charity. This is a Bane sketch done by Graham Nolan, and then this is the Vengeance of Bane 2 signed by Graham Nolan and Chuck Dixon.
Wow.
So
Nice. Yeah, Chuck Dixon was at Yancey Street too.
Dude, he's awesome.
Yeah, I met him at the Clearwater Comic-Con, and we talked for about 10 minutes, I remember. I don't know why there was nobody around him, because he's a great guy to talk to.
I spent almost the entire con, Free Comic Book Day, sitting or standing in front of him and Graham Nolan, just talking with them when they didn't have people in front of them. They're just such nice people.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And he's a collector. He was hunting comics with me in the Clearwater Con.
Oh yeah. Graham Nolan's a collector too.
Oh yeah. I don't know Graham Nolan. I've never met him. Except, during the Free Comic Book Day, I went by and said hi, but that's it.
Well, we're officially Facebook friends.
Ooh.
Oh, hey.
Oh. You see, charmed life. I tell you, you don't believe it.
But
Metarog once talked to me on purpose. So by process of what do you call that, connection or whatnot, we're like 6 degrees of separation. So me and Graham are basically best friends.
Right. Yeah. See how it works.
I spoke to him for a minute. I spoke to him for a minute. Chuck Dixon, I spoke for at least 10, 15 minutes.
Poor Chuck.
They're very Check if you guys ever get a chance to go back and look. I actually interviewed both of them. And they talk about what they collect and stuff like that. Their interviews were pretty fun.
Yeah, I think Chuck. I believe he took out a lot of Disney comics, Dells and Gold Keys, things like that.
Yeah, the interesting thing about Chuck, people don't know this. He doesn't take any money to do these things. Like when you have him autograph stuff. I mean, he has his books and stuff there to sell, and that's what he makes money on. Mm-hmm. But like when you go up to him with A Vengeance of Bane, and you say, how much for an autograph? He has a cup in front of him. He says, I don't charge for autographs, but if you feel inclined to, please donate to the Wounded Warrior Project.
Yep.
Nate.
Yeah.
And that's cool. Cool.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy to meet, really. If you ever have a chance, just, man, awesome guy.
Well, I think we showed off a few commissions, original arts, prints, signatures. DS did his best to derail us, but it worked out, I think, overall.
Everybody's got their role on this show, Bub. So
I know. I appreciate it. Thank you all. And it's coming up to 1.5 hours. When we first started this show, we talked about it only going for an hour on a kind of Mrs. DS's, rolling pin that she lightly raps on the door as the mid-hour approaches. And to let them know it's time to come on up out of the comic cellar. But they tend to go about an hour and a half anyway. But it's all good stuff, and I enjoy it, and I appreciate it. I just want to thank you guys for taking extra time, as always, to hang out and try to enrich the community with what knowledge we have, and to just kind of talk comics. It's always fun. I enjoy it. And I know you guys do too in your way. So,
yeah,
I really do appreciate you guys taking your time out. I know it's tough too every week, especially Roger and DS Comics. I know every week, every Monday, sometimes you may not feel up to it. And I can tell you that if ever you don't feel up to it, too bad. You got to be here is what you get paid for. So, come on.
I'm always up for it. I mean, it's just that I have other responsibilities I got to take care of, but I'm always up for it.
Yeah, we really missed you last week, Roger.
Yeah, I heard.
All right, guys. Well, I want to thank Deadpool 2323 for being our once again special guest this week. Thanks a bunch.
Hey, anytime. Thanks for having me. I absolutely enjoy doing this.
Cool. And of course, as always, we thank DS Comics for spending his hard-earned time with us. We know it's precious to him, so thank you very much.
Always a highlight of my week here.
Awesome. And Roger, of course, give him a hard time, but really, we would have so little without Roger. When I started all this, I really wanted. These are the two guys I wanted. I wanted DS Comics because I felt like there was no better pre-code and just a true love of the history of it all. And I wanted Roger because basically Roger has the most amazing happenstance collection that I've ever seen. You know, and I say that meaning that he's not out there, you know, paying big money for big boy books. He got these big boy books when he was a little boy. Yep. And I think that is very impressive. And that's why he has the knowledge he has, because he's not the guy reading Wikipedia. He's the guy writing Wikipedia. So I really enjoy that. So thank you both for being a part of this.
Thank you for Thank you for having us, because I mean, without you, and you know, you're the one who brainstormed this, so you know, you're the one responsible for that. Without you, we wouldn't have this forum, and have the great time that I know DS and I and the guests have. So thank you, Bub, for coming up with this and having us.
You're I love
it. Oh, quit it now. Save it for next week when people are still watching.
And your moderating and directing skills have improved over time, so this is really top notch.
We still got a ways to go, but you know, none of us are perfect.
That's what I'm always going for. I strive for barely proficient, and I appreciate the acknowledgement. All right, guys. Well, it's been another great one. Everybody have a great week, and we'll see you back again next week on the No Faces Comic Chat. Good night, everybody.
Night.
Catch you next week.